Hi, this is Dr. John Johnson. I want to talk to you for a moment about my research on barriers to entrepreneurship for women. In 1994, I moved to the Ukraine and I began to collect data there on the work of an entrepreneur in one of the new businesses that had started after perestroika. And I got so fascinated with the barriers that she faced and how they were overcome by a large team of people that she worked with that I decided to continue studying the topic in Ukraine. So in 2005, I found grant funding to do a nationwide study in Ukraine that involves sending researchers to all of the parts of Ukraine, to 26 areas of Ukraine, and you can see the graphic. And we did interviews there to understand the barriers that women who were entrepreneurs faced. After that, we convened all of those women and we invited all of those women to a focus group in the city of Kiev and learned more from that focus group. Then we moved it to a 1,000 person quantitative study in which we administered a survey that was based on the original qualitative results. So that was a fascinating study, and we learned a lot about barriers to entrepreneurship for women. Then we moved the study to Poland, and in Poland we converged a focus group of entrepreneurs there who talked about the barriers. We used some of the same questions that we had used in Ukraine, although the methodology was slightly different. 3 years ago, I decided to expand the study to Mexico. And in Mexico, we focused our study on the city of Guadalajara, which is the second largest city in Mexico. It is very far south of the border. And in Guadalajara, we used just a quantitative survey, and we surveyed 600 entrepreneurs. And then we did a nationwide study through almost all of the states of Mexico using social media, and we had 400 respondents for that. So we had a total of 1,000 respondents in Mexico. The results of those studies are fascinating, as you can see from the graphics. And of course, we found out one of the interesting findings, both in Ukraine and in Mexico, is that entrepreneurs don't have enough qualified personnel. We didn't know that before. But also, it was very interesting that one of the barriers was a lack of self-confidence. And the good news is, reading these studies and understanding these studies, both in the Ukraine and in Mexico and in Poland, has helped women to realize what a great accomplishment starting a business has been and increase their self-confidence. And we've been able to disseminate the information. In Ukraine, I've been interviewed on radio and television. We've published it, of course, in scientific journals. And then in Mexico, I've been on television and on radio. And most recently, I've with Pablo Zepeda, who's one of our colleagues that you're going to hear from in a minute. Pablo and I have been on the radio 3 different times in the United States, including a major station in the Chicago area, and of course, always in Spanish. Now I'd like to hear from some of the participants in this research that have helped forward the research agenda. I think you're going to enjoy what they have to say.
Research project Barriers to Women Entrepreneurship was probably one of the most exciting projects in my research career. About 7 years ago, I had an honor of working with Dr. John Johnson as a research director and the team lead of a group of sociologists, locals in Ukraine. We collected data from small and medium entrepreneurs from Ukraine, from women who started their businesses and successfully managed their operations within 5 or 10 years. We collected data from the interviews, organized focus groups, and did the national study as well. Later, Dr. Johnson replicated the study in Poland and in Mexico, collecting unique data and providing an opportunity to compare barriers and also drivers, success stories, and the challenges that women face in the international settings when they're trying to open and manage their business.
Hello, my name is Pablo Cepeda, and let me share to you that during 2019, Dr. John Johnson and a team based in Mexico researched about the importance of the barriers of entrepreneurship of the Mexican women. This was also an incredible academic and professional task for me as part of this project. Since the end of the data collection, we have been invited to participate on media platforms in both sides of the border, approaching the information, the experience, and the interesting elements which were relevant in the time that we asked the participants for their perspective as the relevant highlights that will provide entrepreneurials, public institutions, universities, and NGOs better and possible solutions of the different barriers for the current and new economic global challenges. Thank you and follow us.
I think it's important and extremely necessary to do this type of research, especially in a context such as Mexico, where women face different types of violence every day, where there is still a huge gap of opportunities of economic and professional development between men and women. Also, because the barriers that women face when starting or running a business might not only be affected by their gender, but also by their socioeconomic status and even race. And we get to know the barriers that women are facing when starting or running a business, we might get a clearer picture of what is going on in this context and also open a way to more gender related studies in a context like Mexico.